Hey everyone, welcome back to SuccessWithChris.com. I'm your host, Chris O'Neill of the internet's most successful blog. Today I want to talk to you about an important concept. Something you've heard 1,000 times, probably said many times yourself. You know, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? Have you ever heard somebody say that? Have you ever used that term yourself? I'm here to tell you and set the record straight. It's very true. It is who you know, not what you know. Now, here's the thing that most people don't understand is that anybody can know anybody. That's the cool part, is that anybody can know anybody. And I'll give you a good example. I have a great friend of mine who recently came here about 3 years ago from another country, and he knows everybody. He knows more people than anybody else I know, around locally anyways, right? And he's just really good at networking. If you want to, you know, he goes to lunch with the premier now. He goes to, you know, he knows businessmen, you know, and businesswomen. He knows all the people that you need to know. If you need something, you go to him and he'll find the right person. He helps people get jobs. And when he came here, he didn't know anybody. I'm here to tell you that can happen to you. I'm not going to take it away from him. He is really good at networking. He knows how to network. He came here and he works with an IT company around town, or he did work with an IT company around town, and he was the average guy, right? He just went in, he did his job, but he knew how to network with people. He knew how to plan out what he wanted. So if he wanted to meet the premier, he networked his way up to the premier. He networked his way through the MLAs. He networked his way in. If he wanted to get somebody a job, he can network his way that way. So the interesting thing is that everybody can do that. Now, it took me a long time to realize that. In fact, I'm reading a really good book right now it really describes how to do that. It's called Never Eat Alone. And I would recommend you get that because it talks about how to network, how to build your way through. So maybe you need to talk to to some of your contacts. Maybe you have to talk to the doorman and the assistant of that person. I mean, it all depends on what your goals are, but you have to have the fearless attitude of I can do it. And I'll tell you a story about myself. I was with a company not too long ago, and I wanted to meet some very powerful people. So what I did is every time the most successful person would come into the office, maybe they're from out of town and so on, what I did is I went to that person and I asked them, I just said, hey, do you have a minute? I just want to ask, you know, it would be question and answer period. Now, most people would go and bitch and complain and whine and all that stuff, right? They would just go and say, you know, I hate this, I don't like this, me, right? But what I did is I went to them and I talked to them about them. I said, can I ask you a question? How did you get to where you are today? If I wanted to get to your position, how would I get there? Okay? And those are important questions. And the cool thing is that most of those people, when I asked them that, said, nobody's ever asked me that before. And here I am looking at it and I said, what do you mean nobody's asked you that? I mean, you're a senior executive in this company and nobody's asked you how you got to the top? I mean, that's pretty important, right? Because lots of people want to go there. Lots of people say they want to go there, right? That's a big difference. But so I would encourage you to just go and stop complaining about the people. Stop, worrying about all that jazz. Just go and be interested in them. Talk to them about their family. Talk about how they got there to where they are. If you want to, I interview people and I go to a company and I say, I want to talk. I would like to talk to the owner of the company. And I know they're very successful and I know what they do. And I say, I just want to ask them, I just want to talk to them about how they got to where they are. Because I'm really interested in knowing how people get to the top. Okay? Why? Because it very much interests me. And if you want to get there, then it should start interesting you too. So it is really who you know, not what you know. But anybody can know that, and that's the important message that I want to share with you today, is because anybody in the world can get to where. I mean, if you want to be an actress or an actor, then all you have to do is find some people that can do it, right? Some directors, some people already in the business. They're all on Twitter and Facebook. You can find them. It's really easy nowadays to find somebody that has the power. If you're a book writer and you need a publisher, you can go out there and find that right person, right? So really, I want to encourage you to just go after it. Again, Never Eat Alone is an awesome book that you need to take a look at, so you can actually see what is happening and how powerful networks can be. And I want to bring you back to that example. A friend of mine came here, didn't know anybody. Within a couple of years, he knew everybody, clear to the top of the government. He knew everybody, okay? Top businessmen, top government officials. He knows people on a personal level because he is interested in them. He's not going there to gripe and complain. He goes there to learn about them and to be interested in. And the people at the top a lot of times don't get to talk about that because they're too busy answering people's whining and complaining questions, right? So be interested and get to where you want to go. You might have to be interested in the assistant or the doorman, like I said, a couple examples, just to see, get interested in them. So they want to help you meet that person. They'll be more than interested in getting you to the person you're after if you just talk to them, be friends with them, and be interested in them, okay? And I will promise you will get to the top. My name's Chris O'Neill, and I wish you the best of success. We'll talk again tomorrow, the last day of 2009, the last day of this decade, and we'll talk about tomorrow how you're going to make it in 2010. Have a great day. Bye now.